Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Priyanka MG, working as an associate professor in Channabasweshwara Institute of Technology, Tumkur. Today, I'm going to speak about the especially waste management and its techniques to overcome that. In recent days, I have come across a lot of issues regarding this waste management, especially due to corona, biomedical wastes. So last year, we all aware that in Karnataka, that which is fighting a decade-long legal battle with Kerala over the ban on night traffic passing through the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. It is also facing a year-old challenge, that is, Kerala has been illegally dumping its hazardous biomedical waste and animal waste in Karnataka, jeopardizing the lives of locals and polluting the environment in Kodagu, Mysore, Chamarajanagar districts. This was a great problem we faced in 2020. In a similar way, now, very shocking news that today I come across that in our city, Tumkur, that we are facing the same kind of problem, that especially in this corona period, we all know medical wastes are in large number, isn't it? So, but it should be dumped in a very proper manner. But you know where they are dumping? If I say, you will be surprised. They are dumping in a forest reserve, that is Namada Chilme, that is located on the way of Devarayana Durga. This is very foolish act. Before dumping, don't they have a common sense that those wastes will harm huge animals and forests over there? I request the concerned authority of Tumkur should take care of it and resolve this hazardous issue as soon as possible. You know something? Nearly 146 tons COVID related biomedical waste generated daily in our country due to diagnostic activities and treatment of COVID 19 patients. So, waste should be dumped, waste should be managed properly. By keeping these two incidences as a base, let's try to understand what is waste management, because when we speak about these kind of incidences, very hazardous things, even we should know how to manage the waste, right? So today I just thought of speaking about waste management particularly and how it should be resolved. When I arise the problem, it's my duty to give a solution to the problem. So, then before going inside the topic, I would like to tell what is waste management. Waste management or waste disposal includes the activities and actions required to manage waste from its inception to its final disposal. This includes the collection, transport, treatment, and disposal of waste, together with monitoring and regulation of the waste management process. Waste can be solid, liquid, or gas, and each type have different methods of disposal and management. Waste management usually deals with all types of waste, including industrial, biological, and household. In some cases, waste can pose a threat to human health. Health issues are associated throughout the entire process of waste management. Health issues can also arise indirectly or directly. Directly through the handling of said waste and indirectly through the consumption of water, soil and food. Waste is produced by human activity. For example, the extraction and processing of raw materials, that is, the waste management is intended to reduce the adverse effects of waste on human health, the environment, and aesthetics. Is the management of solid waste, liquid materials, and gaseous waste or radioactive emissions with the help of many systems and experts in various fields? The waste management system differs from developed and developing countries, urban and rural, and residential and industrial. Local government agencies are responsible for the management of garbage in the adjacent areas of the healthy living area and also in metropolitans various private organizations. Similarly, it generates garbage management in healthy commercial and industrial areas. We should know this. Regarding, we spoke about waste management. Not only the biomedical is the major waste we are come acrossing, even the electronic waste, what we call e-waste, even that is causing a great problem in the world. This waste is found in every home. And the old refrigerators, computer, mixed use by customers is found in the home. Also, a large pile of mobile and batteries that need to be repaired. Isn't it? If today my mobile gets struck or something has happened, immediately tomorrow I'll change my mobile set. It should not happen. So, this leads a huge problem and it increases the waste dumping. In developing countries like us, we even think twice to sell these old electronic goods because they buy them for a low prices. But in developed countries, the users must pay for such waste disposals. Thousands of tons of waste are generated every year across the country. Some use acid to melt metal to separate. Later, the remaining acid will be disposed in the sewage. The improper disposal of the waste leads to contaminate the soil, water, and the environment. Nowadays, people are becoming more aware of this. Though they are aware, it is, as we know, we don't have proper disposal of history, which is not happening scientifically. There is no organized process subject to government regulations. The overall process is not transparent. Also, a majority of electronic waste treatment is unscientific. Being in disorganized form, it does not take into account the exact impact on the environment. The e-waste problem in India has not come to a pass, though the Mumbai central government's clean campaign and smart city plan is in effect. In its report, ASSOCHAM and NEC said India ranks 5th on the list of the most other waste producing countries. China, Japan and Germany rank the top 4 respectively. The report states that 95% of the waste generated in India is managed safely. I'll give you a statistics. 20 lakh tons. This waste is generated every year in India. I'll just make a note again. 20 lakh tons. This waste is generated every year in India. 4.8 lakh tons this recyclable waste in India every year. And after knowing this, we should know what is India's status on this. This state is inadequately managed as a necessary regulations are implemented in India. Like other normal waste, these e-waste have also been dumping into rivers and lakes. This process can damage the adjoining environment. Without maintaining the proper history of taking safety measures can have a negative impact on the health of workers who work on this field. Then, what are the hazardous scientific disposable here? Most households in the major cities of the state, including Bangalore, unscrew sanitary napkins and blood-clotted cotton and other medical waste every day. This is no smaller matter, isn't it so? Because it is a major environmental problem, experts estimate that the amount of waste generated in households is greater than a clinical need. Local authorities or voluntary organizations have not studied this. In many cities in our country, including Bangalore, some health care practices have increased for health of family members. This is why the number of medical items is increasing at home, especially during in this corona. Right? Experts say that the task of separating and disposing the hospital waste from other waste is not adequate. According to Shashi Reddy, he is an Assistant General Manager Operations, Medical Environmental Management Private Limited. The amount of garbage collected in households is 4 times higher than the generated in hospitals. Very, very surprising. 98% of the medical waste generated in households needs to be burned, but they are being added to the waste. The remaining 2% of the medical waste must be sorted by the Pollution Control Board, but we will add them to the waste. In 2014, BBMP launched an innovative project to collect medical waste in a separate trash can. The project was targeted at 12 lakh households in Yelahanka and West Zone, Bangalore. But it did not succeed because the amount of medical waste collected in households is very low. It is difficult to collect them daily. Officials at the Karnataka State Pollution Control Board explain that such homes cannot be stored for long as they are not safe. They are also point out that biomedical waste management regulations do not consider sanitary pads and hyper blood stains as hospital waste. There is no proper guidance on how to burn napkins. Napkins should be heated to 400 to 500 degrees. Otherwise, hazardous chemicals such as dioxin could be released into the atmosphere if it does not function. This has been said by Pollution Control Officer A. Ramesh. Any product with blood stains should be considered biomedical waste. We all agree. But it is very difficult to categorize it as medical waste since it is used throughout the country. In most countries, it is considered a solid waste. Sorting is the first step in medical waste management, right? So, waste should be collected under 4 different categories at the original. It must be collected daily by government approved agencies or sent to the General Medical Waste Disposable Unit. Liquid waste must be disposed often in refineries. Every hospital has a program under the Swachh Bharat mission. Its purpose is to maintain cleanliness. They even need to take care of the medical waste is provided. There are quality assurance officers in each district. Their job is to train both nurses and Group D staff in government hospitals. Staff members sort and dispose of waste at the earliest. Many types of medical waste are generated in many Ayurveda, Unani and homeopathy centers in the state. But these centers do not accept them as medical waste, such as cotton and other waste produced in massage centers and considered solid waste. The Pollution Control Board has no control over the Ayush medical centers. Usually they come to the office and ask for certificate. They tell them to write down a letter that the injection and no other medical devices are used. However, sometimes Ayush doctors give injections and perform some minor surgical procedures. This has been said by a medical officer. He also informed me that about the meeting he is going to arrange with the Indian Medical Council to discuss about topic. Big hospitals normally follow the rules in terms of medical waste disposal. But the challenge is for smaller hospitals. The former president of the Association of Private Hospitals and Nursing Homes, Dr. Madan Gayakwad, said that due to the scarcity of land, they are unable to dispose of solid liquid medical wastes properly. The fees charged by waste management companies are expensive. Maybe this is also a reason that in Tumkur today what we have come across that they are dumping the biomedical waste in Namada Chilume. But whatever it is, as a citizen, as a responsible citizen, doctors and who are there in the medical profession, they have to be responsible, right? Because it is because they are charging a loss for waste management. Is that okay to dump in the forest areas? Is this right to kill the animals in the forest areas? To destroy the forest areas? Environment? Is this right? Even government has to think. The smaller hospitals cannot afford more than 30 beds. A doctor who did not want to be named said that they were disposing of waste without any disposal. And what are the obstacles to enforce this law? Law has been framed, right? Okay. And what are the obstacles they are facing actually? The last 2 decades of efforts to bring hospital waste disposal to halt are still intact. The law was first enacted in 1998 for the purpose of regulation. Lots of changes have been made since then. The current biomedical waste regulation effective in 2016 has been amended again in 2018, but there are many obstacles to implementation. The State Pollution Control Board is responsible for enforcing hospital waste management regulations. Waste producers, collectors, stockpiles, shippers, processors, disposers, or anyone involved in this work are covered by the law. The Pollution Control Board initiated efforts to bring waste management, accountability, and service delivery into one frame. In February 2017, the board issued a mandate to cover CBMWF. The aim was to identify waste generators, charge for waste collection, and control health care centers. The High Court has upheld the court's order challenging the order. Board officials say waste management and control is not at all possible. There is not much variation in hospital waste management in Karnataka and other states. Year to year, rule violations have been on the rise across the country. In 2016, the number rose to 1,034 in 2016 compared to 6,074 in 2000. It has doubled in a single year. Most state pollution control boards have not submitted their annual report to the government. As such, there is no national level information available on waste management. I tried search like anything, but I am unable to get it. Waste management requires accountability. That is, CAG is a waste mix of government hospitals and veterinary hospitals in solid waste collected in urban and urban areas of the state. This was mentioned in a report by the CAG on solid waste management of urban local bodies. The report cautioned that hospital waste was found in most of the garbage collection, a significant growth. The inspectors visited 36 government hospitals and 34 veterinary hospitals. Of these, 21 hospitals and 19 veterinary hospitals do not meet the requirements for operating primarily. In such a situation, hospital waste management will be discussed. Processing of liquid waste before disposing of it does not work. In Karnataka, the only hospital is in Mangalore. We can find this facility. Other than that, nowhere we can find this kind of facility in any other hospitals. None of the CAG inspected hospitals have a treatment plant, and chemical treated liquid wastes are directly drained. It is affecting public health and the environment. Water sources are polluting and need to safeguard that for our future. Otherwise, we have to face the consequences. All this shows that the laws are weak. There is no strong laws has been adopted, where nobody is taking any responsibility for this issue. The CAG report cited a lack of accountability. Even this leads to infection also. Recycling and disposable hospital waste affect health and the environment. Throwing waste wherever possible is a problem. A fine, sharp, contaminated waste is considered as risk is invited to us. Such a trend is putting healthcare workers and citizens at risk. It is also affects the health of the public. When collecting discarded needles, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and even now what we are facing, corona, all black fungus, red fungus, whatever, so many funguses we are, day by day we are just hearing it. So can be caused by infected waste. Hospital waste producers are not properly disposed of, and there is no provision for violation of the rules. A notice can be given at the time of the complaint. The case has to be answered by issuing notice and warning. We are working with the Department of Health to ensure that all aspects of waste management are met. Maharashtra ranks first in medical waste generation. And we found that even corona is very much spreaded state in our country. So while Karnataka comes in second, we are the first state in the country to adopt a scientific approach to hospital waste management. But adequate enforcement is not yet possible. Official statistics and other details how much waste is being generated are not at all available. This has impeded the rules. There are currently little information available from the Medical Waste Treatment Facility, that is CBMWTF. The Pollution Control Board, which is responsible for the control and management of waste, has fewer details regarding this. The Pollution Control Board has found that 4,066 companies in the health service sector have violated the law without adequate waste management in 2018. It is alarming that such a large number of law violations have emerged in a single year. After the waste segregation has been done, syringes and glass items need to reach the processing plant. You know what is happening in between? But here lies a big mafia that these waste items will not reach the plant for further waste treatment, because these waste items will be stolen for recycling. My dear friends, please note this, what I am saying. Though it is so shocking, you know something, again I'll repeat. After the waste segregation has been done, the syringes and glass items need to be reached the processing plant. But here lies a big mafia that these waste items will not reach the plant for further waste treatment, because these waste items will be stolen for recycling. Waste treatment plants that are not properly managed and violate the law have been issued by the Pollution Control Board. These involved are being directed to file a complaint, because these kind of syringes are being reusing. The Ministry of Environment and Forests, Ministry of Environment, that is, it has been implemented the E-Waste Management Rule 2011 with effect from May 1, that is 2012, on electronic waste management responsibility. This rule relates to the manufacture of electronic and electronic products. This has been imposed on the distributor and buyer. The responsibility of processing e-waste generated during the manufacture of electrical and electronic products is laid on the shoulders of the manufacturers. Manufacturers must start a collection unit for the e-wastes. There is a rule that consumers should be given the address of e-waste collection units. Okay, then how to control it? The uses of the tools that allow for the reduction of the production of disposable materials, reuse, repairs, and update. The principle of moderate use is simple lifestyle. Cooperation in the family must be followed. Strict monitoring of e-waste disposal, use for durable materials, exclusion of non-repairable Chinese items, use of biologically soluble materials for manufacturing equipments at the point of production, and strict waste management must be followed there. Before buying a new phone, think of it about an old phone and other computers. Who does not think to what extent the electronic items that are disposed are harmful to the environment? Right? Yes, the problem of the waste of electronic goods such as mobile, computer, TV, etc. is a headache for the whole world. It can cause great damage to the environment. There is no doubt about the fact that electronic materials are more plastic, aluminium, copper, chemicals, etc. We celebrate Diwali in our home, in our country, especially in Hindu family. At this time, the Supreme Court fixed the time for fireworks to go ahead with the environmental protection. We all know this. Who doesn't believe fireworks are the sole cause of environmental pollution? However, this move is essential for the protection of the environment. Besides, automobiles, factories, agriculture, and electronic items are contributing to environmental pollution. Similarly, if we focus only on technology related e-waste, how much e-waste is generated in India? Do you know? What are the problems that will arise from this e-waste? You know? How management needs to take care has been described here. That is, what is the damage it causes the environment? E-waste contain carcinogenic elements such as lead, mercury, arsenic, cadmium. These are 38% chemicals and cause a lot of damage to the environment. Many environmental problems result from uncontrolled burning, disintegration and disposal. Groundwater polluting the groundwater, and these kind of polluting the atmosphere. Water pollution from the effluent, air pollution from burning, and the health of the people involved in the treatment. Computer devices in India are huge contributors to e-waste. That is, 70% of computer devices become e-waste. In the telecom sector, smartphones, SIMs account for 12%. Medical devices account for 8% and power tools account for 7% of annual waste. Mobile e-waste is growing at an annual rate of 25%. There are over 100 crores of mobile phones in India currently, of which 25% of mobile phones annually are e-waste. Now, smartphones are being introduced to the market every day. We are enjoying the apps, enjoying the new features in our mobile phones. But, guys, please be a responsible citizens of this nation or a world that we have to live in this environment. That is, people are being seduced by them and e-wasting their old phones. Government, state-owned companies and private companies have contributed to the widespread e-waste in India. Out of this, 75% of e-waste is produced in India. The percentage of household e-waste generated is 16%. The solution to the e-waste problem is reusing. If wastes are well managed and used for recycling, the e-waste problem can be controlled. E-waste refineries are headquartered in Delhi and Bangalore in India, are looking for solutions to the e-waste problem till today. We have not come across any final solution yet. China model. Expert says China is the model for e-waste management. E-waste is recycled in China and Singapore. Also, the efficiency of the workers there is very good, as their workers are sorting out 800 kg of waste per day. The innovative idea on e-Swachh Bharat for e-waste management. Let's see. We Are United unit is launching a unique e-waste management program called e-Swachh Bharat. For the first time in collaboration with Cyber Safe Girl, the objective of the new project is to increase public awareness of e-waste and reduce the amount of e-waste. Also, e-waste recycling is to make the project part of the Clean India campaign. Antony Waste Management, which has leased waste from Mangalore metropolitan area, is already separated hay and dry. Similarly, e-waste must also be classified into electrical and electronic products. This will make e-waste management easier. There are 200 apartments in the city. By visiting each apartment and poster of e-waste collection day information will be pasted on the notice board. Wonderful idea, isn't it? The e-waste will be collected there on a specified day. Also, e-waste needs to be recycled responsibly. So, finally, what I want to say is, today I'm really hurted by knowing the news that the biomedical waste has been dumped in our forest area, Namadachilame. Because of that, today I just started discussing about this topic. And yesterday was Environment Day too. That is, technology is an integral part of every stage of life. We have to agree. Semiconductors and sensors, which were not present in many products, are now heavily embedded in devices and can be fitted and handheld monitors and interconnected TV screens. The use of electronic products is on the rise. This increases waste, and finally it leads to a problem in waste management. Even the similar way, even the hospital wastes are increasing day by day, especially in this kind of pandemic, in this kind of corona. Obviously, the biomedical waste will be in large size. So it should be solved, it should be dumped in a proper way. Electronic waste is emerging as a health and environmental concern in India. As we know, India is the 5th largest e-waste generator in the world. Approximately 2 million tons of e-waste are produced in the country. According to a report, the share of computer environment equipment in e-waste is around 70% annually. 12% is in the telecom sector, 8% in medical equipment, and 7% in electronic products. According to the World Economic Forum's 2019 report, e-waste is growing at a rapid pace. In 2018, 48.5 million tons of waste is generated. Electronic devices include various metals such as gold, silver, copper, platinum, lithium, and cobalt, and so on. By recycling these, the metals can be obtained again. Also, these devices contain toxic chemicals such as lead, mercury, cadmium, beryllium, PVC, plastics, and are very harmful to the human health. It should be carefully disposed of. I hope what is the problem which I have raised today regarding the biomedical waste which has been dumped in Namadachilame, that is near Devarayana Durga. I hope the concerned authority will resolve this issue, and I request personally that please give a solution for these small hospitals to dump their medical equipments or medical wastes in a proper manner. Thank you.